Speaker.
Clear, Karen.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Well, the government is neglecting our regions. It's failing to diversify their economies, while regional roads and internet services are languishing and are in desperate need of upgrades. We heard in question time the comments of the Waitaki Mayor, Gary Kircher, who is no friend of Labour, talk about barriers to economic growth. We heard from the member for Waitaki talk about having to stand on one leg in her rural schools to get a signal. We've even got the member for Clutha Southland, Todd Barclay, who talks about the slow and unreliable internet connections in his electorate. We've heard from Fonterra, and we've even got Federated Farmers saying that the state of the existing telecommunications network in many rural areas is poor. In my office, Mr. Speaker, I've got 40 responses, more than 40 responses from councils who are desperate to improve the internet in their areas. I had a mayor in my office today spitting tax because MB, the ministry, refused to meet with him, far too busy to meet with him to talk about the state of broadband in his region. He said the signals are from government that the rural sector doesn't matter. He said it's just pure arrogance, and he's had it, that there are projects being developed in regional New Zealand that need workers. Areas in South Canterbury, Southland, Western Bay of Plenty, the Manawatu, Northland, just to name a few, but they don't have good internet access. And he asked me, what do we say when we advertise for workers in those areas? Shift here, we want you, but sorry, we don't have the internet. He said that's why economists are starting to describe those regions as being zombie towns. Mr. Speaker, I've got some more examples. Culverden, where the fibre to the school, someone had the bright idea to give access to Culverden Township, accessing that fibre to the school. He said he'd dig a trench, he'd provide access to the wider community. But Chorus said no. And why did they say no? Because he couldn't access that fibre, because it's old fibre. It's not new fibre, it's old fibre. It's only one pair of fibres, and you can't get access to the wider community. And I've just received confirmation, Mr. Speaker, that of the 2,500 schools in New Zealand, only 7 have been able to make a fibre connection available to their wider communities. Why only 7? Because it's too hard. Mr. Speaker, this is just an absolute travesty. Why does this matter? Because in rural New Zealand is around 20–25% of our population. Outside of our 3 main centres, it contributes a third of our GDP, nearly $80 billion. In 2009–2010, the government announced they would roll out broadband 75% to urban areas with UFB. Now that is solid, good connection. In rural New Zealand, 25%, only a 5 megabit connection. Where they've managed to achieve that, they've spent $300 million. It's made no difference to those communities. That's why I've got 40 councils sending me their documents saying just how bad it is. After 5 years, Mr. Speaker, rural New Zealand is understandably intensely frustrated and angry about the situation for them. And what they need, and what rural New Zealand needs, is a government that's going to stand up for them. Who's somebody our regions deserve to be treated better? Who's going to stand up for regional New Zealand? Well, it's not going to be this government. It will be Andrew Little. It will be David Clark, who is working on economic development strategies that include good connectivity. Looking at the transport investment that's been cut by $11 million in the sealing of roads, the closing of the Gisborne-Napier railway line, the Otago lagging by 10% of its economic output. There is a list that can go on and on. This government is not standing up for regional New Zealand. It's not standing up for rural people. It'll be a Labour government. It'll be Andrew Little and David Clark with his economic development strategy that will stand up for rural New Zealand.
Jackie.